All right. We are live. Harris, I see you. Welcome, everybody. This is Telman Knutson, and you are here for the email marketing and list building AMA live stream, the Ask Me Anything live stream. And I have my good friend, and oh, wait, maybe not. Maybe I should wait on that. My good friend, and I guess technically soon to be business partner, we could say. Harris Fellman is here with me today. And we are currently live streaming on Facebook on my personal profile. We're live streaming in the Art of Email Marketing Facebook group. We're on my Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on X, aka Twitter. And what we're doing here today is a email marketing AMA. We're here to answer any questions you have about email marketing and or building your email list, also known as list building. And I'm actually just going to go ahead. Harris, do you want to just take a minute to, should we introduce each other? Do you want to introduce yourself? What do you want to do here?
Hi, I'm Harris Fellman. I own an email marketing company called Traffic for Me. We sell traffic from people that have email newsletters, so dedicated email broadcasts. I've been doing that for 10 years, and 10 years before that, I was list building in a number of ways, and before that, I was emailing without really list building, more like list buying, but you can't really do that so well anymore. So I've got my 100,000 hours of expertise in email marketing and list building, and So and then I started with what we would consider, yes, what we all call internet marketing about 20 years ago. And the first successful thing I did was kind of copy what Telman was doing with a thing called List Crusade. And I wasn't sure if you owned listbuilding.com or not. I'm glad to see it as the founder. I thought I was getting it confused in my head. I was just telling somebody over lunch that I was speaking with you about something, and I thought I was right. So now I'm glad to see that it is listbuilding.com as well, because I know that I had known you through List Crusade and some of the things that you were doing there, and I was like, oh, this looks like a really good business model. Let me try that. So and it was successful. So yeah.
Cool. Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to figure out if this is all actually happening right. So Facebook did some funny stuff in April where they stopped allowing people to hold on. Let me just try this. Harris, can you talk about email marketing and how we
talk about email marketing and what? Okay, so why don't I just talk about what list building is? List building is basically traffic plus a landing page that asks people for at least an email address, and those people from the email address, those people's email addresses, and hopefully their name and maybe some other information, gets put on a list, an email list that you're able to send to. I don't know what level of knowledge people have. So basically, there's all sorts of autoresponder programs out there, or email service providers out there that you're able to collect the email address with, and then you're able to either automatically, if it's an autoresponder, send them a series of emails that come after that, or what I think Telman probably typically likes better, for whatever reason, is an email broadcast. So you wake up in the morning and you wake up in the morning, you set up 5 email broadcasts to go out over the next 10 days or something like that. I think those are a little bit better because they're more timely, right? Whereas an autoresponder, I literally, with my company, I probably have an autoresponder that hasn't been updated in 5 years. So there might be some links in there that don't work. There might be some references that don't work. Stuff like that. So that ends up becoming an asset that you have to constantly kind of prune, unless you don't, and then you forget about it. And and I guess, what do you think? You think email broadcasts I think in my experience, I guess, email broadcasts get better open rates and better click-through rates.
I don't think it's as simple as that in my experience. I've seen so many different lists and so many different industries that were built so many different ways now. I mean, in the short term, broadcasts do get more click. Like if you want a surge of clicks for most people most of the time, you're going to send if you have 100,000 people on your list or 10,000 people on your list and you send a broadcast to all the people who are active, say, like they're all going to get it, right? And you're going to get a surge of opens and you're going to get a surge of clicks. And that's nice for a promotion for a single day. But like longer and more engaging autoresponder sequences can be really incredible ways of driving long-term, steady, consistent clicks and revenue too. And what I actually recommend is that people do both. And that you make your autoresponder sequence as long as you can and people still open and click and buy stuff from it, and that you also broadcast every day. And you may want to have a daily email that goes out in your autoresponder sequence, or it might be weekly, or it might be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for whatever reason. But my experience has been, and this is counterintuitive, and if you're an email marketer, you know this. If you're not an email marketer, you know what I'm actually going to do, guys? We are doing an AMA right now. It's called an Email Marketing Ask Me Anything. AMA equals Ask Me Anything. Ask your biggest question about email marketing. And we'll answer it. Okay. Add banner. Boom. So guys, I'm gonna jump into that here in just a second. So we're doing an Ask Me Anything right now. So, and we're broadcasting on multiple channels. We unfortunately can't see all of the comments in one place, and I'm actually wrestling a little bit with my Facebook group right now, getting this thing live in the Facebook group. So let me just see here. Oh, I see. Join us now. Boom. And then
apparently
save changes. Okay, there. So I see what I had to do.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
Oh, what's up? So we're talking. So I'm just wrestling with the Facebook group because they changed all their credentials. So in terms of autoresponder sequence and broadcasting, for most entrepreneurs and most email marketers, you need to get better at writing email. And there's only at writing good copy that's going to convert, that's going to get opened, that's going to get responded to. And you need to get better at really knowing your people, right? And the best possible way that I know to get better at anything is practice. Okay, it's practice. And so I guess I'm encouraging you to write more email and send more email so you can get better at writing and sending email, right? That's kind of where it's at. So,
and how do I know if I'm better?
You're making more money. Your email list is building.
So you get more opens from the subject line. That means it's better. You get more clicks from the message. That means it's better. You get more conversions from whatever you're trying to sell. So that means it's better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get better by making more money from your email marketing efforts. You get direct feedback. You get more opens, you get more clicks, and you make more money. You're getting better. And so, writing a broadcast every day. If you've got the gusto, if you got the juice, if you got the gumption, do it. Daily diary, baby. Like get in contact with your people, because here's the deal. Most people in our industry are not getting higher than 30% open rates on their emails. Okay. So if you have a 10,000 person email list and you bought advertising to build that list. You invested time, effort, energy, and money to build that list, and you got 10,000 person list. You're only reaching 3,000 of those people. That sucks. And it's the reality of email marketing. Welcome to the party, baby. And so it's like, if you're only going to get through to roughly 30% generally at best, then how do you improve that? Well, there are lots of ways to improve it. But one way is to stay in touch. You build more rapport, you build more connection through frequency of communication, not by being a ghost, right? Not by being a ghost. And so the first big thing that I really would suggest is that you start writing to your list every day, and then after your normal, if you build some sort of a welcome sequence or some sort of an onboard sequence, do it. But do that after you're writing your list every day, right? Stick a welcome email in there, sure. But go through all the time, effort, and energy of building this big project of 200 emails or whatever you're going to build. Do that after you're in the habit of writing to your list every day. And then once you've built your welcome sequence, add your very best performing broadcasts to your welcome sequence, right? Just add them at the end, modify them as appropriate, and add them to the end so that your winning emails from your broadcasts end up being your longer term automated system. And it's just a really good habit to be in. It's not the only way to do it, but in terms of increasing your skills and improving your abilities as an email marketer, as an email copywriter, the best way you can do that is practice. And that means every day. So
I even like to blend them in earlier, like not necessarily only add it to the end. It's probably a good idea to, and I'm not saying I always do it, but it's a good idea to, like, recheck your autoresponder. Look at it every year, every 6 months or something like that, and then take some of those good performers and even put them up earlier than the end. But yeah, if you put them in at the end, then you're kind of guaranteed that everybody that hasn't gotten it is going to get it,
Right. Right. And I mean, of course, we have so many options. We have so much sophistication now with the different autoresponders that are available and the different CRMs that are out there and all the different ways that we can send email with like really intelligent logic and segmenting and all this stuff. And that's cool. But if we're talking about establishing a regular email practice to stay in touch with your people, to get connected with them, to make money while you're at it, then I really would encourage you to start writing to your list every day. Give them an update about what's going on in your head, what's going on in your life, find out what's going on in their life, and do your best to help them out every day.
Right. Yeah. So, like, what about? Is there any questions yet?
The first question that came in was from Paulo Lemberg, and he says that he has a list that he bought that's clean of several thousand people, but it's a couple years old, and he wants to know what's the best way to resurrect it. What's the best way to bring it back to life? And
is it Paul or Paulo?
Well, it says Pablo.
Pablo. Oh, I know
Pablo Lemberg.
That's funny. I know a Paul Lemberg, but
I
anyway,
also know a Paul Lemberg. I think it's the same guy. I think it's the same guy. But maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean, that guy should know how to do this. If it's that guy. But anyway, you're one of the best people in the world, I think, at refreshing old lists.
Yeah. So there are psychological aspects of this, and then there are technological aspects, and I'm better on the psychological than the technological.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you're going to need to import them in somewhere, and you're going to need to follow the practices of whatever tool you're using, okay, to mail. So I know, for example, that I'm working with a cool guy who uses AI messaging and AI email copywriting in order to resurrect email lists. And I was actually talking with him early this morning. That's his main thing. And I've gotten to know him over the last 6 months or so. And He's doing this with Go High Level and some AI bot processes, but like you can import into Go High Level. It will clean your list and make sure it's legit before sending out email. And then again, you can plug in and use all sorts of cool services in order to either use AI or good psychology to re-engage and reactivate that list.
So using AI, are you suggesting that so let's say you import 10,000 emails, is he sending one email? Is he having the AI, message one email a day, or is he breaking up the list into segments and sending 100 different emails to 1,000 people, or 100 emails to 100 people? Because that sounds like, from a technological standpoint, that might have a better chance of getting past the new February filters.
Right. Well, the answer is I don't know all the details of how he's doing it exactly. I'm actually just running a test with him right now, and we're just preparing my documents for it. So I don't know all the ins and outs. I will in a month, but I don't know. I don't know right now. Here's what I do know. There are numerous cleaning services. There's Send13, or Clean13, which is Mark Goldman's, and that's kind of it's kind of best in class from what I understand. I know that I'm pretty sure that Campaign Refinery uses it or used to use it. Campaign Refinery has a cleaning service, and at the same time, if you upload your list to Campaign Refinery and you still get too many spam complaints, like, anybody's going to shut you down if it's a crappy list and doesn't get good response.
And it's less spam complaints than it used to be. That's what happened in February. So that's part of what happened in February.
So the issue, so you need to. I would consider, and I say consider because this isn't my specialty, but I've become much more interested in it recently. Is consider cold email. Consider taking a course on cold email and treating the list like cold email, except treat them like you know them, because hopefully you do, because hopefully you've emailed them before, right? So this is the other thing, is that the reality is, if you're going to do it, good luck, and I hope it works, but don't bet the bank on it. I would strongly encourage you to focus your attention on building a new list, and one of the things that you can do to build a new list if you've been in business for a long time is a process that I like to call your customers. And so one really great way to reestablish yourself or to reconnect is by literally getting your old customer databases and reactivating them. Email, phone number, SMS, all the things. And so reaching out to people that genuinely already know you is much safer than reaching out to people that don't genuinely already know you. If they're customers, it's cool because you can create a really special customer update, product update, or a super bonus that you give all your customers, a brand new thing that's never existed before, that they're likely to be all about. Like, create the coolest possible thing you can possibly think of for them as a super sweet gift. Make it for them and give it to them. And sending an email out of the blue, letting people know that you realize that you've fallen out of touch, and to reconnect, you wanted to give them you created a really sweet gift that you.
I would also caveat some of that by saying, similar to social media, the more engagement you can get, the better. So obviously you want them to actually open it. It's a great idea to give them something, but even another email that you could send, maybe even before that one, would be email me back if you would like this thing, rather than click here, because click here is promotional, right? But email me back is going to be seen, especially if you're friendly with the way you write it. And, hey, I've lost touch with you. I wanted to give you something to say. I'm sorry. Write me back if you would be interested in it, right? Something like that. The less commercial you can make the first wave of emails, the better engagement there'll be. But I forget how many emails he said he was trying to re-engage, but if it's 100,000, don't import 100,000 and expect to send all of them at once. You really want to do less than 5,000 at a time. And if that doesn't get you, at least a 10 to 15% open rate, then you're going to have to even go smaller than that. So that's just what I've seen lately, is getting a list an older list that you haven't communicated with and you're trying to re-engage, if your open rates are below 5%, you're probably never going to overcome get over the hill of like the complaints and the opens and the engagement and all that, because right away you're already getting a horrible engagement rate. And really 10% opens is pretty bad, but at least you can work with that, send to it, get rid of send it a couple times and then get rid of the guys that don't open. Get over it. Those guys are done. And that, by the way, that's how I have an over 50% open rate on my list, is I get rid of the people that don't open. Oh, gee, well, imagine that. And it's painful,
Right.
man. It's the first time you do it, the first few times you do it. What do you mean I just got rid of 35% of my emails that I've worked so hard? Yeah.
Right.
But, and obviously you can go try to re-engage those guys one day and you'll get, a 5% open rate on them or something like that. But basically, like the core list that you have, you want to mail, and then get rid of the people that aren't opening. And if it's a lower than 10%, then you've got a really rough start. So there's the more of the techno side of it, I guess. Not techno, that's music, but technological side of
it. And so, like, with that said, if you're building a new list, either on a new domain or a domain that has has as good of deliverability as you can set up in advance, building a new list with real people at like a normal looking rate and speed is much more acceptable to any email sender than trying to upload some list. Who knows how real it is? Who knows how old it is? You know what I mean? And all this kind of stuff. And for them to get video through, I mean, it's hard. Or I'm sorry, for them to get email through and delivered, it's hard. And so I really would encourage you to, if you're going to reawaken an old list, I would encourage you to also like get those people to intentionally and purposefully opt into a new list, right? Don't just get a list or assemble a list and start mailing the crap out of them. Nobody wants that, right? Like nobody wants that. And if what you want to know is how to build a big, responsive email list and audience quickly, say in 90 days or so, then maybe we can help you out. Shoot us a DM. We actually have a pretty cool thing coming around the bend. And if you're interested in building your email list, you can shoot Harris or I a direct message on the platform that you are watching this video on right now. So I'm a little bummed because I was trying to do this in my Facebook group, The Art of Email Marketing, and for the love of God, it's not posting. So I'm going to share it from my personal page into the group. And this is a really good lesson because I have another one of these tomorrow in a different group. And this is a little bit of what's happening right now? So do you have any questions about email marketing? If you do, then please ask them in the comments below. And we will do our absolute best to answer them.
Yeah, even if it's how to build a list or, how to get started or like how to get better open rates, anything really about email marketing and that you might have, even if you don't like, is it right for my business? Or
if you're a skeptic, I don't think email marketing works. And here's why, prove me wrong. I mean, like, whatever your perspective is, we are definitely here to answer questions about email marketing for you, if you have any, how it works. I started my email marketing journey and my list building journey in 2003. Harris, how about you?
My list building journey, I guess, would be 2005, but my email, 1999, maybe something like that. Yeah. So and actually, I was working for another company, and they this was all customer. It was all customer lists that we were marketing to. So that was quite fun and exciting. And then that leveraged into me doing it myself, and then eventually in a single market, and then expanding into another one, and then the law. Well, I wouldn't say the law changed. Then there became a law about emailing.
Right.
So I began following the law, and then I ended up here more into the inner. It's I think what's interesting about my story is that I used to send with that company. I used to send maybe 7 million emails a day, and which sounds great, and that was when things were easier to deliver and get through and whatever. And then when I came to this market, and I had no relationship with those people. I mean, that was purely, let's just call it spam, because it is what it is.
Right.
Whatever level of that it is, that's what it is. Those people didn't know who I was, and some of them opened, and I doubt we ever saw a 10% open rate. That would have probably been life-changing for me. But anyway, what I was going to say is then when I got here and I did the project that I alluded to before, where I kind of looked at what you were doing with List Crusade and did something similar. I ended up building a list of about 10,000 people, and I would say that on a pound for pound or email per email basis, I would say that the list of 10,000 was probably easily worth about 2 million the other way. Like basically because I had a relationship with them, they knew who I was. The open rates were, it's not about the open rates, it's about they have a relationship with you. I mean, I think that's really one of the things that because you didn't, I guess I don't know, but I presume you didn't do that other way, or even maybe even the way Pablo is mentioning too much, where you've re-engaged in older lists for a client or anything like that. You're really about relationship building to the nth degree. I mean, and it's not always relationship building, it's making them care about you. It's not just
and how is that done? It's done by caring about people. Right. It's actually like doing your best to go out and help people, so they want to read what you have to write and pay attention to the work that you're doing. Like, it's not any different online than it is with the rest of your life.
You write you're known for having written a lot of very interesting. Look, 90% of your emails are probably straight up, I care about you, here's something for you. But 10% of them or more are you've got a reason to. Well, you've got a story and something fun.
90% of my emails are pitch emails, and most of my emails these days are mascot emails, so they're fictional. So it's like there are a lot of ways you can connect with people, and that's not limited to like. If you make candles for a living, it's cool for you to give your family candles for like Christmas. You're a candle maker. That's who you are. It's what you do. And so if you have a art form or a way of communicating or a style, a way of adding value, something special that you do, like, you can integrate this directly into the way that you foster a connection and relationship with your people. And for some people, it's just through their personality, right? Classic personality marketing, and you often amp up your personality so it comes through stronger in the written form. And there are different ways you can do that, right? You can be really cool, you can be cantankerous and polarizing, you can be educational, you can be very entertaining, or any combination of these things. And so a lot of my mascot emails, just as an example, are extremely entertaining and curiosity creating, and that's what causes the click and causes the purchase. But people love reading them, so they never unsubscribe, because it's like your daily horoscope. You never know what you're going to get.
It's interesting.
So, but that's not the only way to do it. You can. I like the idea of a.
You said to do something
magic tricks. Well, like doing the daily magic trick, I definitely think you should get in the habit of opening every live stream or webinar that you do with a trick.
Some sort of magic trick.
I really would encourage that.
Should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I mentioned it now.
No, I know. I meant today. I mean, hey.
Yeah,
it takes more preparation than you realize to do a
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Oh, dude, I bring that home. Oh, next time, make sure I show you my I have a really cool one that I've been working on that's really cool. I don't think I showed it to you yet. Anyway,
Cool.
I do magic. I love magic. It's probably anyway. So anyone else?
Guys, do you have any questions? This is a email marketing AMA, and I've been having the experience of it's a little bit like pulling teeth, trying to get you guys to ask questions, which is interesting. I'm kind of surprised, frankly. Do you have any questions about email marketing or list building? Because
they all must have lists of 100,000 people, and they must get 50% open rates and 10% click through rates, and they probably make 100,000 a month with their 100,000 email lists. So maybe we should be asking them questions.
What I'm going to say, Harris, is we have a bunch of live viewers, and so if you want to ask questions, you've got 3 minutes. It's 1:33. I'll give you guys 3 minutes to ask some questions. We've been talking for about half an hour, and if you have questions to ask, now's the time. Otherwise, we're going to end the live stream. If there are no questions, today's not the day for it. But if there are questions, we would love to answer them. So you got 3 minutes. Ask them in the chat, and if you can, if you're following me on Facebook, send me a direct message with your question, because it could be we're getting questions and then they're not successfully pulling through to the chat in StreamYard. That has happened before.
That's the great thing about StreamYard. It's supposed to be able to do that. So
but it's unreliable.
It is notoriously unreliable. Listen, next time you guys don't ask a question, we're going to do a don't ask me anything, a DAMA, a DAMA. Don't ask me anything about email marketing. And then we're just going to sit here and talk about
DAMAs.
Bottles. I don't know. Some cups and Jello. I got some Jello I just had.
I got a mug. I got a Mocha Joe's coffee mug full of instant bone broth over here.
As long as we've been around too, I think I do find it interesting, the evolution of email marketing. Like remember when blogs first came out and they were like, oh, we don't need email marketing, and then now there's not a blog in existence that's not, and then there was the time in between where like, oh, we have to get, you got to build a list, and then it's funny too, because my wife, she had a blog, and now she does email marketing. Like she's primarily an email designer for e-commerce, which I don't do any e-commerce. I do all digital products is mostly what I deal with. I think you do. Have you done anything with e-commerce?
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
I loved it. I've always just loved digital products, because it's all right there. You don't have to hold inventory or figure out how to drop ship it or anything like that. That's one thing.
I agree.
That's so great about it.
The digital world has been great.
Yeah.
So let's see. Are we getting any questions? I feel like we're not.
Let me check mine as well, just for fun.
I feel like we're not getting a lot of questions. Maybe we need to promote something like this longer in advance and get people to write in with some
questions. Maybe we need to do it more often, so that Facebook, feeds it to people that we want it to feed it to. That's a piece of it as well. Wherever you are posting it, does that. I think Facebook is primarily what we're shooting for, right?
I mean, all around. I'm getting Pablo Lemberg and Thomas Bell both trying to tune in, and they're not able to because we're not piping this into the group properly. So, excitement all around. Harris, I must say it is definitely way better now that you don't keep cutting out on our internet conversations every 15
minutes. Oh my God, that was annoying. Yeah, I'm kind of moving to the London area, and I did not get good internet. So I got a Wi-Fi hotspot that every some amount of bandwidth, I think, would cut out on me. I talked to them about it, and it's actually because apparently they have a you can pay a company to steal bandwidth from your neighbors. Essentially, that's what these Wi-Fi hotspots are. They're like, oh, you must not be close enough to your neighbor's router, and I'm like, oh, Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Maybe they keep moving their router around or something.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, that was no fun. So Tom Bell is somewhere. I just saw Kevin Pulse as well. He said traffic for you, which is all around not me, but I'm traffic for me with the word FOR spelled out. Darn it, because some people go to the wrong site and it gets me in trouble. But yeah, Kevin, it's good to hear from you. Good to see you. Ask a question. Too late. Tom Bell doesn't have a question for us?
No, but so what's happening is like the guys that have questions aren't able to watch it in the group like they were planning. And so they're messaging me on Facebook and I'm like, I don't know, it's not working. So
let's do it again.
Yeah. So we'll have to do another one. In the meantime, if you're watching this and you do have a question, if you're watching the replay later and you do have a question about email marketing, ask it in the comments. We'll ask it in our next AMA. We'll answer it in our next AMA. And we'll be sure to let you know when that's happening.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right.
Rock and roll. All right, Harris. Thanks so much.
You know what we should have done? Tellman, you know what we should have done?
What?
We should have emailed our lists and told them to come to this.
We should have. It would have made a lot of sense.
All right, I'll see you.
Talk to you soon. Bye.